Moving on now, North Korea is supposed to be one of the world's most isolated and heavily sanctioned economies. Yet, Bloomberg's latest report shows that Kim Jong Un has found new ways to bring in billions of dollars, strengthening his regime and giving him less reason to compromise with the West. North Korea's economy has put a spotlight on a remarkable turnaround. Bloomberg estimates Kim Jong Un has generated as much as $22 billion in new revenue over the past 4 years. For perspective, North Korea's entire economy was estimated at around $34 billion in 2025. And unlike the past, this windfall is not primarily coming from foreign aid. The biggest source is Russia. Since Moscow invaded Ukraine in 2022, Russia has turned to North Korea for ammunition and other military supplies. South Korea's intelligence agency estimates that more than 30,000 container loads of weapons have been shipped to Russia, along with around 16,000 North Korean troops. Bloomberg estimates that the Russia-related income is at roughly $14 billion, with about 90% linked to the military relationship. China is another important source of revenue. Trade between China and North Korea reached $1.5 billion in the first half of this year. That's the highest level since UN sanctions were imposed in 2017. And that is also more than 20 times the pandemic-era levels. Much of the trade involves products such as wigs and false eyelashes manufactured by low-paid North Korean workers. And then there is the illicit money. North Korean-linked hacking group stole around $2 billion in crypto last year, according to the Bloomberg report. The money is typically laundered through networks around North Korea, including Chinese organized crime, allowing the regime to access clean funds without the cash necessarily entering the country. The result is a very different North Korea. Kim now has money, military, cooperation with Russia, and deeper economic ties with China. That weakens the leverage that sanctions were designed to provide and gives Pyongyang more resources to support its weapon programs. So in other words, the country Washington once hoped to isolate is finding new ways to finance itself and becoming harder to pressure.